Okay, so I was just telling myself, I said consciousness creates matter. Matter is any object that you look out and you see. Matter is any experience that you had and how you interpreted it. Regardless of what the next person was doing, is how you interpreted it, because you are consciousness. But based upon your awareness of what's happening, then that's how you are able to release something from your life, or to learn more about this object, this external, this energy. This is just a quick reminder to myself, because I just had a thought and I said, well, let me capture that. Because the thing is, we believe that matter create consciousness, which means that external creates experience, that the external is creating our reality. The external has more power over our consciousness than the individual, or that awareness. So I had to capture this so I can re-listen to it and see how can I elaborate more on this, because I was just listening to something. That's what it's about, clarity. And you can't, playing games that's fun and all, but there's a time when you really have to, I don't want to say be all serious or whatever, but it's like you got to face things in order to see it. That's why I would talk about the mirror principle so much, because it's like, well, if you don't notice something, if you're not aware of something, you're going to keep doing it. But that's why reprogramming or deprogramming the subconscious mind is important. Because once you get that thing locked and loaded with your systems, with your identity, with the things that you want to experience in your life, it's going to be on autopilot. It ain't nothing else going to be able to come through. Anything that comes through is going to be filtered out, because it's not in the programming of your subconscious mind. And I'm coming up with this right now as I speak. Because when I heard that, like, consciousness, matter don't create consciousness. Consciousness meaning your awareness, period. The things that, and this is very important to me, because like when I was younger, I didn't have any awareness, I didn't have any knowledge, I didn't have no experience of too much of anything. But I would look at things and be like, why people are handling this situation the way they handle it? It's because they were more aware of something than I was. That's just like when, a lot of, how can I say, vulgar or nudity or graphic things came out. It was like, cover your eyes, because your mind is not able to understand what you're looking at, and you can react in a way because you just want to experiment with it or experience it, but you have no idea how much trouble, how much pain you are causing yourself that moment in time, want to experience that. But it's like, no, it's not trouble. That looks like fun. That looks like pleasure. That looks like happiness. That looks like, love. So we all have our things that we go into that we think is something is going to bring us joy, excitement, love, how can I say, support. So I'm saying this because you can say the same things 1,000 ways, But my thing is saying whatever I got to say one way so I can understand it for myself. And that's what I'm doing right now. Is explaining to myself why when it comes to the black hole, which is your subconscious mind, it's running the show all the time. It has no limits. The only limits that is imposed on that subconscious mind is the programming, the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions. Those are the only limits. That's why it is said to become empty, be nothing. Because whatever you need, when you need it, it's going to show up at that moment in time, because you did not refuse it. You did not reject it. You invited it. You was in agreement with it. Either to gain more understanding, or either to allow yourself, how can I say this? Why would a person put themselves through something that would be dumb? But it's like, no. When a person put themselves through something, it's because they're not really understanding that it's another side to the story. And once you don't get the full story, which is clarity, when you don't know the full side of the story, you go back and get more. And when you go back, things seems like it's getting better, but it don't. All it is a illusion. An illusion painted to cover up the realness of that object or the realness of that situation, which allows a person to continue to reloop because they're not understanding it. And so in order for them to understand it, they would have to continue the continuum, the timeline continuum, the thought process continuum, meaning you are trapped in a infinite field of scarce, limitations, confusion. You are entrapped in a infinite field that is teaching you something if you are paying attention to what is happening in that moment now. Time is an illusion. That's why you can go to the past, to the present, to the future now, because it's an illusion. Our mind is the thing that is speeding up something or slowing down something due to what we are saying within our inner, even if we're not aware of it or not. When we say something, it happens instantly. Everything is happening instantly. And they say, no, it don't happen instantly. Yes, it does. It's not happening instantly in the physical reality. But once you think something, it already happened. Whether you know how to interpret it or not, now that's up to the individual to say, well, this is not what I wanted, or this I ain't gonna say it's exactly what you wanted, but this is the experience that you wanted. Maybe it didn't come how you wanted to, but it's still happening. So anytime a person have a thought, it has to show up, but it has to be a lag. It has to be some type of, how can I say, delay, due to the fact that it is I don't want to say a timeline difference, but it is a difference in the movement of how things are structured in the physical reality and in your mind. So that's why it's a delay, how things are structured between the physical world and the astral world, or the spiritual world, or the etheric world, or the soul world, the spirit world. So you can keep going and going and going. It's like ghosts. I'm nobody, and since I'm nobody, I can travel so far, because it's not a distance. It's not no thing as length and width. It's just awareness. You are aware of how you are interpreting what's happening in that moment in time. The more you are in tune with yourself, the better you'll be able to interpret or to analyze things for yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more you are paying attention to yourself. And then in a physical world, it has been inverted. Pay attention to the external world. You pay too much attention to the internal. That's called selfish. Wrong. That's why I said it's inverted. The more you pay attention to the outward, the more you lose yourself, the more you lose momentum of you, how can I say, bridging the gap of the astral world and the physical world. Because it's all happening now. Everything happening all at once. But it's up to the observer to collapse things. And once you collapse it, that will turn things into an experience. Holy shit. Based upon your observation, you saying now, yes, this. More of this, please. There is no. It's just yes, please. Based upon your observation and based upon the amount of momentum, meaning the more you go into something that you don't want, that means you want it. Because why would you go into something you don't want? You want it. So that means you don't know yourself. That means you have to entrap yourself in another experience that will allow you to see that this is not working out in your favor. This is not for your best interest. So you would have to return to a space that is limitless in your field of awareness, in your field of frequency, in your field of enjoyment. The soul program. There is no lack. It's always abundance.